X7 have chosen to go for, and I'm expecting Chase is going to be on something like a melee as well. So the only range you're literally going to get is Attila on his AD carry. But so far, again, for GameWard, it's a lot of comfort, and this time Akabane is going to choose to go towards that Wukong. Yeah. And let's see how he's going to do through the early game with that, because that's another early game champion that you can dictate the pace of the game with.
I think something like a Sej is also fine here for X7 in the top side. I don't expect this to be a Sejuani in this rotation. I expect to see them actually look at least towards somewhat of the bot lane. But we did see it in that last game where they just ignored bot lane entirely and looked to pick it up in that second phase. And they're actually looking towards the Ezreal here.
I don't like that.
I'm with you.
I don't like that. This is okay. I'll explain why I don't like that. This is an Attila special. He's Ezreal. He's infamous for his Ezreal. He played it at Worlds. He played it over when he was in EU LCS. This is his champion. Why I don't particularly like it is because when X7 was going through some really rough patches over in the NOC, it would either be the Senna or the Ezreal that Attila would resort to so they can play through the other side of the map. And usually when it's not Attila on a heavy AD carry that scales into that late game, X7 really did struggle through these games. So if Tempt here doesn't pop off on the Sylas, if Chase doesn't pop off in whatever pick he's going to get, which I'm assuming is going to be the R5 and the counter pick, this could be really rough for Attila to try and carry that through with that Ezreal. Also, Kasing hasn't been the best on melee roaming champions. His best champions have usually traditionally been these enchanters.
Yes.
His Zillions, his Renatas, his Lulus, his Yumis. And right here, usually when you have an Ezreal, you want to dump him down in that bot lane and then just start roaming the map, which might be the case for X7. It's a good switch up.
No, it is. I will raise a concern I'm seeing for the side of GameWard at the moment, though, is there's quite a lot of AP here. So they need to find some AD damage in this team. That's probably my major criticism, was what we saw actually punish X7 versus LDLC in their first loss of the tournament. Final man's going to be that Nautilus coming through, and obviously the Yuumi as well from the side of GameWard. Let's see what they're going to pick up here. Could just go towards that support. You could just get Karma Ez and just have like perma pressure in the bot side if you want to do that.
You can go something like the Zillion as well and start roaming them up with the Zoomies. The Rakan is also a pretty good pick. A lot of engage, a lot of disengage, a lot of utility coming from the champion as well. Fits in the narrative as well with Ezreal, you know, dashing forward, and then Rakan follows up and gets that very long range engage. So I do like the Rakan right here. Means like I think will finally be on a roaming champion, something other than the Yuumi, and we might see some action towards the top side of the map. Of course, we're a little bit heavily focusing on X7 right here because it's X7 that have to change the way they play if they want to win. GameWard are still picking the champions, they're still playing the game. Chameleos in game 1 on the Amumu tore apart the entire map. Whoever he queued ended up dying, so we're putting a little bit of magnifying glass on X7 to see what they have as a reply.
This would be one hell of a way to knock X7 out of the tournament with the Aatrox.
I like that. I like that, or something like a Yone even.
So you kind of really throw the gauntlet down. And Chasey, who had a pretty good tail end to that final game, you know, he made the plays that actually extended that game and kind of kept them in for a little bit longer. On that Aatrox, they're knocking them out with it, knocking them the pick that he has favored so much during this tournament. But he is going to be switching up, going for that Jace here. It could actually be a switch between the Sylas and Jace, but they are going to put the Jace in the top side for Chasey. Okay. You're humming, so I want to get your thoughts.
I don't think it would ever be the case because Tempt doesn't play AD champions.
Oh, yes, of course, yes. How could I forget? I
think we've put that to rest by now. And also Sylas is a Tempt style of champion. And of course, Chasey coming from the LCK, Jace, Fiora, Yone, Aatrox are his champions, these heavy fighters. Now, what I'm really worried about this is because usually if Poke comps fall behind in the early game, then they do not have much power.
Yes.
And right here, again, you're playing Poke champs with a Trundle and a Sylas. Half of them want to go in, half of them want to play the distance, but you're also playing Poke into someone like a Seraphine who can heal it up or can shield it. Into someone like an Aatrox who's playing Eclipse. He's got that lifesteal in there. So I think it's a little harder to execute from the side of X7. GameWard again, they've got their game. They've got Melonic on one of his comfort champions, the Aatrox. They've got that Swain that literally gave them the victory, and X7 had to ban in that second game because he was being a nuisance. And I think it's up to X7 to disrupt whatever plans GameWard have.
I'm hoping they can, not because I'm NLC biased. I just want more games. I just want more games. I feel like we're being teased if it's going to be a quick 2-0. But we are getting onto the Rift for game number 3. Match point over to GameWard. Can they knock out the NLC second seed here. X7 had a almost flawless run in Group B during the groups, but LDLC quickly put a stop to them. And it looks like, actually, they might be setting up. Everybody collapsing from the side of X7. Tempt jumps in. They've got a knock up, and oh no! Tempt is down! Inax able to find the kill, and X7 are crumbling. The flashes coming out galore as Chekolad flashes forwards, and now he's chasing onto Chasey. Only Attila and Tempt hold their flash at the end of the day.
This is doomed, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be a Jace that wants to really shove Aatrox in the early game, melee into range. You want to bully the Aatrox around before he hits that level 6 mark. You can't do that right now. You have no flash. And again, we see that level 1. Quite clever from X7, but I think the fact that Chasey moves that far forward and doesn't allow Melanic to walk towards the top side of the map kind of gave away what X7 wanted to do right there. The second that Tempt also face checks with the Sylas. He's diving into 5 members melee range from the sort of GameWard.
I think he realized the mistake when he slid in and saw another person in the bush. Went, oh, there's a team here. Okay,
Tempt was like, call an ambulance. But GameWard was like, but not for us. Yeah, no. But this is quite doomed right here because
it's only 1 kill, but it's a lot of flashes.
The most important thing is the fact that Chasey does not have his flash up and available. You want to play through that top side of the map. This is why you got Rakan. This is why you've got the Sylas. This is why you've got the Trundle. You need to get that top side of the map rolling. We saw what Chasey could do when he started getting a few resets on his Aatrox in the previous game. Attila right now is stuck on an Ezreal. He's not going to be as much of a hyper carry as he usually is with the likes of Sivir, with the likes of Zeri. Right here, Attila has taken a secondary role, and Chasey needs to be the one carrying, but Chasey right now, with no flash, he's going to be stuck underneath his tower, getting pushed by an Aatrox, and I think for this situation to turn around, Viking's going to have to be extremely active on the map. He's going to try to find that hit. Some picks, he's looking around that mid lane. They have found Chekolad. Chekolad doesn't have a flash either, so if Tempt does land the chain through the pillar. Oh,
he's got it. They're in with the CC. The Vision of Empire helps a little bit, but Chekolad goes down. Viking, for the first time this series, plays proactively and rewards his team.
We just asked for this, right? The only one who can turn this unfortunate chain of events around is Viking. You've got the Trundle. Go and punish the lanes without the flash. Which is the most immobile lane without a flash? It is that Swain. Get onto that mid lane. Chekolad was trying to crash in his wave. He hits that pillar. The chain lands as well. Very well played right there. Get that kill onto the Trundle as well. Get him beefy. So pretty good start right here. Equalizing the score. Kind of even in gold as well, if you will. But my biggest sort of spying glass that I'm going to put on the map right now is the first reset from the support. Because Camilius, every single time he's reset, he's taking a stroll through that mid lane around Chekolad, trying to find a flash, trying to find a target to make Tempt's life really miserable.
Oh, there to get a good knock up. Oh, Camilius. Lots of shielding though when you've got that Seraphine, so.
And all these minions that don't allow the Qs to come forward from Attila's Ezreal. Not much burnt other than the Ignite from the sort of Kasing, but Camille's right here sitting with both of his summoners. Nakabana again on the prey.
Chasey, he's going to be in trouble, pulled in by the Infernal Chains. He can pop one away, but not the other. Just about able to get enough movement with the phase rush out to safety. Chasey.
Aren't you
maybe
happy
flashless, but he's able to live.
Are you not happy that this was not a buy, Chasey? Because if that was a buy, most likely Chasey was going to be dead on this Jace. But nevertheless, he does have his teleport to get back into lane, but still a big gap in time until he has his flash up and available. And again, you're picking the Jace into the Aatrox. You're picking the Jace to counter the Aatrox, to make his life miserable. That flash level 1 has cost you your laning phase so far.
Yeah, it was a really, really rough one for them as Chekolad not caught out by the pillar, but slowed, able to get the grab on the Tempt. Now Tempt's in range to chase on. Chekolad knocked up and Tempt takes him down. Meanwhile, Akabane had found Viking, and Viking will fall to the monkey bot.
So, the solo bowler from Akabane, but a kill goes over to Tempt as well, and Chekolad has been deprived of a lot of experience and gold in the mid lane. He's already 400 gold down. The kill went over to Tempt as well, trying to get that Sylas rolling. We saw what happened last game when Chekolad was actually on the Sylas and the Sylas got rolling. It's a hard scaling champion and a very dangerous one for this late game. So X7 have found their win condition, and they've also found the player that they want to punish the most from the other side. It is Chekolad. He did also lose his flash level 1, and X7 so far have capitalized twice on that.
Really, really clean stuff here as teleport coming in from Inax, joining in on the bot side of the action. Top side, we're going to see Melonic just TP up. Teleport's being thrown down galore. We'll have a look at this fight in the mid lane, and kind of what went wrong for Viking. He just didn't commit with the rest of the team.
I kind of love this here. Temp gets, unfortunately, a tower shot. But you're kind of right. I think he's trying to, but then he kind of doesn't want to commit because there's a pillar, and then he will start taking a lot of damage if he tried to get through the choke point, because there was a wave coming as well. It was a very... I think it was a very unfortunate situation that he was caught in.
Oh,
Checolate. Yes, Flash.
He is getting mega bullied right now. As it's actually quite interesting because you were talking to me in between the games about the matchup between Temps and Checolate and how Chocolate's just absolutely dominating this matchup. It feels like Temps finally had enough, and he's just coming back and looking to get into the action, into the thick of it, and deny Checolate from actually joining this game.
I think that was about time, actually, because Tempt, if not the best, he was one of the most stable mid laners we have over in the NLC. The guy did not lose lane. It's not that he would stomp you, but he would come out of lane, ahead in CS, you would be shoved underneath your tower, and he'd be the first one to roam. And honestly, it's been a pretty disappointing series from him this far. And now that he's having a better series, it's been the mid-jungle duo that's enabled that. It's Viking also being a little bit more proactive, playing towards the mid lane, enabling Tempt, giving him them kills, getting the kills for himself, and also grabbing that first dragon. I think it's X7 that have finally woken up and want to play a little bit more proactively in that early game.
Yeah, you're completely right there. As a game again, even though there's been a lot of action, typical of what we've seen from this series, these teams are playing fairly kind of respectful to one another. They want to get that time under their belt, although, you know, when you look on the other side, X7 don't have, you know, that infinite scaling, like, well, not infinite, but, you know, that hard scaling, which we typically were seeing. Obviously, Ezreal does spike on, like, the 2 items, and the 3 items as well can be a big step forward for him, but realistically, it's not like a Zeri. He just kind of, once that 3 item comes in, every item just makes it even stronger and even stronger. You just want to get into late game with it. I'm curious what the late game is going to look like, because there's not as much scaling comparatively to our first 2 games of this series.
Yeah, that is true. Although on the side of GameWard, you do have an Aatrox that's going to be getting shielded and healed by the Seraphine later on, and Viking again.
Bit of revenge. No! He failed the flash! Into the wall he slams, and down the Herald shall go. Chasey's been zoned out at top side as well. This is just a freebie.
I think that we mentioned how doomed it was, that top side of the map. The fact that you have 0 priority through Chasey is really hurting the entirety of the map.
Yeah.
Because they know that if Akabane shows towards the top side of the map, he has teammates, he has that access into the river, and that his teammates will respond first, no matter what, towards the top side of the map. And this is where Akabane has also gotten his kills, right? Viking right now, 1 and 2. He's been picked on again. He's been more proactive, yes. But I think throughout the series, we've seen Viking overreach for vision without necessarily having the required information to walk in the river, knowing where your opponent jungler is, knowing if you have priority through your lanes or not. And he's been capitalized upon and then giving freely, again, kills over to Akabane. Akabane has had very close to 100% kill participation the entire series.
Yeah, he's been super active. Super active this game. Like, I mean, this series, he's been a key tool for this team, and it feels like Viking finally actually doing a similar thing to what Akabane has been doing in this series. The big problem is those first 2 games, the Vi just completely stopped anything Viking wanted to do. It was all about shutting Attila down. It was playing for that bot side. This time, Attila playing something with a bit of mobility, kind of leaning away from the likes of the Zeri and stuff like that, and instead going towards that Ezreal.
Akabane has found in the river Tempt, if I'm not wrong. But Akabane does have 4 members from GameWard on the bot side of the map. And again, unfortunately, Ezreal is stuck underneath the tower trying to cue the waves away. I think top lane is a very small wound right now that is going to start opening more and more and more as the game goes on. The fact that your Aatrox is not even is ahead in gold, someone that scales so hard into the late game. Who's going to stop this menace on a side lane later on?
Yeah.
Because Silas is not going to be the one. Chase is not going to be the one. And also we mentioned how if a poke composition falls behind, your poke is not a poke anymore. It's like a little poke, I guess, with a toothpick, if if you will, it's not gonna hurt. And even if it does hurt, Seraphine can just heal it all up. So we have a lot of beefy targets with lifesteal, the Wukong and the Aatrox. You've got Swain, who has a lot of HP in his kit anyway. And then you've got Seraphine that can shield and heal up all of that poke coming in. So for X7, they need to start accelerating the game a little bit and maybe getting that Jace ahead. And Viking does have the right idea, but he's 2 levels down on this Aatrox. Yeah,
he is. He's not really going to be getting himself into any of the action right now as Akabane has found Viking. He's got himself the Herald, and Viking, flashless still, will probably just be picked up here. Maybe Chasey can save the day. Maybe Chasey and Temps can do something as the demonic ascensions come in. Kasing looking for the knock-up, unable to get it. Camillus jumps in and will lock them all down. X7 fall apart as a double kill goes over to Checkerlad.
Yeah, 11 minutes in, and the entirety of GameWard are on the top side of the map. We talked about how their macro is extremely clean. What do? They rotate Inax again to that mid lane because they focus towards pushing Checkerlad towards the top side of the map, trying to get the numbers advantage on a team fight. And if they do need Inax from the mid lane, he's also in close proximity to join them as well. So not only are they going to get 3 kills, because Kasing died as well in their pocket. They're going to get the entirety of mid lane tower together with tower platings.
They get the charge.
Melonic is completely left on his own device towards the top side to get even more tower platings. It's going to be a very rich GameWard. And again, Akabane, I think he's had Viking's number the entirety of that series. He finds him in the jungle. Viking does not have a flash. Very nice rearrangement of the route right there from Checkerlad as well to hit Viking. And once Tempt goes in with the Swain ult, suddenly they're outnumbered.
And that stopwatch from Checkerlad as well, just to avoid getting caught in that knockup. X7 though are going to turn their attention now towards this dragon, picking up the second dragon of the game. But look at that jungle difference, 2,000 gold lead over Akabane. And like, he's got his Divine Thunderer. On the other side, Viking's got a Balmy Cinder. Like, he's so far behind. It's unbelievable. And actually, when we do look at the items, we can see it really tells the tale of this game. Checkerlad has his Crystal Scepter, Tempt, sitting on components. Hasn't even got close yet to finishing up his Mythic. You know, yeah, Tilla has an item, but that's a cheap item. The Manamine is a cheap item. There's Leandres onto Inax. Like, items are there right now for the side of GameWard.
And it's getting even more sad because X7 usually rely on Attila to outplay these fights later on, the likes of Xerxes and Civius and Hyperscale and AD carries. Right now, he's stuck on Ezreal. And yes, it is his Ezreal. He's known for that champion, but oh my god, GameWard.
Oh no, they're caught out by the monkey spin. In comes Kasing. The charm on the back end of the fight from Inax. Sails Tempt down the river as he will fall, and Viking will be quick to follow him there. GameWard find 2 kills, and Inax teleports in to make sure Attila can't take more.
Oh man, I knew I should have brought 2 tanks of Hopium for this particular best of series, because the LFL, I'm just gonna say this, is absolutely stomping the NLC right now. GameWard have put their foot down the gas, and they've not let go since game number 1. X7, we said that top side of the map does not belong to you because Chasey has been a bleeding wound since level 1 when he lost his flash. Real beautiful ult right there from Inax. Extends also since he hits their first target. So unfortunately for Viking, he hits him too and he ends up getting CC'd and dying. But right now, this is a 4,000 gold lead, 14 only minutes in, and you see how the poke from Jace barely scratches Melonic. 1 level up in the top lane, 1 level up in the jungle. The top side of the map is really starting to bleed more and more for the side of X7. And I think if you want to play towards the top side, you probably need your Ezreal there. You need all your forces.
Kasing's coming up, hasn't been spotted by the ward as the true shot collapses in. Melonic loses quite a lot of HP and is just going to dash away. Camillus going to give themselves up, but they know that the fight is already done on that side. Rift Herald is up, and actually, that's some pressure now for X7 on that Herald, so Akabane is going to be the one to start it up, mind you. X7 really do not want to be giving up the second Herald of this game. They already lost mid tower 1 and a charge onto tier 2 in the mid. And it just looks like X7, they're not doing it.
I mean, I'm just going to show here that Attila is on the bot side of the map. He's pushing the tower while the rest of his team is kind of like scattered around, which means that they're going to give up. They're going to give up the Rift Herald. And again, they're shoving money into Attila's pocket. This is your win con right here. The fact that Attila can pop off on that Ezreal to win you the team fights later on. But like team fighting for GameWard seems to be so much easier with the Seraphine and the Swain stopping any engage.
I'll give you that. He is 1,000 gold up over
a Seraphine though. Inax is not really the carry.
But Akabane has a 2,500 gold over Viking. Chasey down almost 1,000 gold himself. Mid up 1,000 gold for Checker. Like it is just all GameWard. And yes, there's 1,000 gold lead on the Ezreal, but that's not enough right now. And what it's costing his team on the map is bigger than what Attila is gaining on the other side. Yes, he took a tower, but that doesn't really buy any pressure because mid's already down. Mid tier 2, very low. Herald in the pocket of Akabane. They can use this to crack open the base if they want.
And what is very important to look at right now is the stopwatches that are in the inventory. As you can see, there is one on Akabane, there is also one on Camille's. These are the two engaged champions for the Son of GameWard, and in a minute's time, there's going to be a dragon fight for sure for GameWard. You 100%. Do not want to be giving Soul Point over to X7 because they will instantly turn this into a win con for themselves.
Yeah.
And Infernal Soul is going to be huge, especially since every Q hit from Ezreal will be hitting like an Infernum from an Aphelios. So right here, X7 will try to regain some control. They have to gain some control because in 45 minutes, this dragon will spawn.
Boy, seconds, not minutes.
Sure.
Oh no,
Kasing!
He's able to get away. They get the shot blast, but Checolad flashes into everybody, catching them out. Kasing has to use the stopwatch to dodge away. The charm connects onto Chasey. Kasing pops the charm, able to turn it around and find himself one for the team, but it's 2 for the side of GameWard. Vikings low. They got the teleport coming in. It's actually Tense coming in onto the side. He's got his own demonic ascension. Akabane has been caught as they look to chase onto Inax. Akabane is able to get away, but no, the burn from the Leandries will save the day. Tense chasing with the chain lash in. He's found Checolad as Melanic is getting the damage onto him, though. It's so close. Checolad's bleeding out. Tent fights the shutdown. Tent is slowed down as Melanic able to find the kill. Now going for Viking. Attila and Inax are in the middle of a fight as Attila's able to find himself a kill. Maybe he can save his jungler. It looks like Vikings okay. X7 hold fast.
And Attila has TP. He's going to go all the way back, reset, get that HP bar, regen, and he's going to TP back for that dragon. There's only 2 members, and one of them has no ultimate. It is Melanic in that mid lane. You'll see Attila will TP in for this dragon, and X7 will get themselves win con on that dragon. We might be in for a game here, Heatbrain, because X7 are showing some signs of life. And as we see this again, you said like a sing actually. I don't know who he's on Blasco right there. He might have been Chasey actually, but oh, Chasey. Absolute betrayal right there, but Tekla flashes forward and GameWard will get over-eager because they're ahead. We've seen this before. They'll dive the tower and a beautiful last-second ultimate from Kasing will charm them on the tower. And while all of this is happening, Temp has the time to TP behind them and get that Swain ult. Now, of course, Attila is going to focus on Inax, but Inax has a lot of shields, speed up, slows to throw towards Attila's way. And right here, Viking attempt completely overextend right here. You've won the fight. There is no TP on this Aatrox. There is no TP onto this Swain. Stop right here. Go towards that dragon. Get that dragon for yourself. But in the end, it's going to be the 1-versus-1 exchange underneath that tower. And Attila also managed to win on the AD carry battle, if you will.
Only just about, all things considered. The Riftail charge actually stopped as well, but yeah. 3,000 gold in the jungle between Viking and Akabane as Checolad is going to finish up his Leandries.
I'm going to say, though, props to Viking. He's even in levels. It's level 10 to level 10 when you're 3,000 gold down. Take notes, because Akabane has been on freaking fire this series. So, any aspiring junglers? He's one to look at, for sure. But talking about the 3,000 gold onto that Wukong, the Wukong is one of these champions where he's not necessarily too tanky yet. His HP bar is not that beefy yet, which means that Attila could end up turning him down. And Attila, who has no flash, by the way, and he's just chilling in the mid lane.
Oh, he's just able to get away. Akabane has caught him, though. Attila needs to land a couple more Qs before he can get out. But no, the CC will pin him in place. They throw a teleport in as well, just to rub salt in the wound as Checolad's here. maybe the attention is actually towards the Baron. They don't have the fastest one because they don't have a traditional AD carry, mind you.
That's another overextend right there from Attila. He's making the same play in the mid lane over and over again, and GameWard are ready to punish. Now, if Melonic shows up on that wave, I don't know if actually Jason Viking can kill him. It's level 14, Aatrox level 10 onto that triangle. He's 4 levels down, 6 levels up onto Kasing's Rakan. This Aatrox can legit 1v3 at this point.
Well, we're about to see, I think, because they're looking and they're thinking about it. Check it out, stealing away a blue buff as Tempt flashes forward, catches him out with the chain lash for now. Both the ultimates have been popped here as Tempt is trying to survive as long as possible, but Tempt is going low. He's sustaining up for a little bit more. In comes Chasey. The True Shot Barrage is there. They get the stopwatch off at the moment. Tempt's holding fast. He's trying to get himself the kill. Just able to do so. Now he's turning intentionally onto the side of Melonic as Inax is just burning him down with his shields. Melonic finds a double kill. Like you said, level 14 on the Aatrox. He is scary.
My mind is blown. Tempt tries to go for the 1 versus 1, but there's TP advantages on the rest of the map for the set of GameWard, and Inax chose to TP into this fight, but Attila didn't, even though he did have that teleport. I didn't necessarily see where Attila was on the map, but there was a deficit right there in the teleports. Attila doesn't join, Inax does, so the numbers advantage goes over to GameWard, and you can see how much damage and how much sustainability this Sylas does have. So did he have one more teammate right there? We could potentially see one of these crazy caps moments on Sylas where he just suddenly like 1v3s. But then again, it is a win for GameWard and the 4,000 gold still in the lead. Now, of course, there is one win condition for X7 on the map, and this is going to be the Infernal Soul, which is going to help a lot since you're playing a poke comp. Getting that splash damage and that extra damage onto your poke is going to be huge to try and siege.
Well, I mean, look at Attila's damage already onto one. Kasing finds himself caught out by Camillus, able to flash away from that chain there, from the bandage toss. Just able to avoid out. 57 seconds until the Infernal Soul. X7, they're bringing Chasey down. They've got a nice shove on that top side, and X7, they want to go for this.
You need to have Jace and Attila there because that's exactly what they need to do. They need to poke down members of GameWard to the point where if GameWard walks too far forward and gets caught by Rakan or something like a Sylas, they end up dying. So using your Jace.
What an encore from Inax! Already, they've got Attila. It's all on Chasey. Viking flashes out. Chekalan coming in. A double kill for Inax. A beautiful encore as Melonic makes sure that Chasey will not survive. He's just able to get out, but Tempt will go down. Holy moly, what an ult from Inax.
X7 end up face-checking after they pulled Chasey from the top lane and get instantly punished by the LFL's 4th seed, and Viking thinks he's safe, but they line them up. There's so much to see. You knew they were there. X7 are making crucial mistakes that are going to cost them the game. That was their win con, and now it's been extended by another 5 minutes from the side of GameWard. Unfortunately, Tempt not strong enough to 1 versus 4.
Attila has just popped as well at the beginning of the fight. You know, they've been funneling gold into this man. He is the guy for the side of X7, but he just goes immediately. He's just dead, he's out, he's gray screened. And then from there, it's what is the win condition for X7? There isn't one. Because like you said, they need to poke, they need to set up for the fights, and getting ever harder for them. Yes, Attila is 3.5 items in onto the Ezreal. Yes, he does do a lot of damage. We've seen how much he can do to Inax with a single Q. That's not even with the
Essence. You don't do damage if you face check your brain.
But you don't do damage if, you don't do damage if you're dead. That is literally at its core. And it was a massive fumble there by X7, and they got punished just instantly. And this has been the crucial difference between these two teams in these series. GW are so on it. They just know exactly how to play the game, and they are playing very connected. Their comms are just super clear, and they're very clear goals.
I think they're just very consistent. Yeah. They know that X7 are going to make mistakes because you know what? X7 have been set behind from level 1. For X7 to win this game, they have to go above and beyond. They have to overreach. The second X7 tries to overreach, game will cut their hands off. Yeah. Because they have the easier to execute comp, and they're also scaling into the late game. I just want to say that this level 16 Aatrox, who has barely joined any fights so far, if he does join fights and catches anyone from the set of X7, they're just going to disappear.
And Melonic's Aatrox is probably the one who benefited the most from Inax killing the mid. It was 1 kill, but it was 4 flashes, and that gave him all the pressure in that top side versus Chasey, and he just hasn't been punished.
Oh, no.
So now he's ahead, and Camillus is looking for it. He's going to go for the Curse of the Sad Money, and now goes Viking. The charm does only connect onto Kasing, but Kasing's able to jump away to safety, but Melanix looking to run him down. Oh my word, the burst is huge as 2 members are down.
What have you got? This is a Jace that's not very powerful. You've got Attila onto the Ezreal who can actually poke, but everything's going to get healed up because all of the HP bars are pretty beefy right now from GameWard, and the only thing you can hope for is maybe a steal from a Q from Attila.
Maybe. They have a bit of poke as well to work with from Chasey and Attila, but it doesn't do anything here. The True Shot Barrage gonna come for a couple of members. Attempt has to stop much in the middle of everyone. Chasey's able to find a kill on the 2-1. He's got himself a double. He's holding fast. He's got himself a triple kill. Chasey's going for it. Melanic has to flash away, dodging out, but the Infernal Chains are gonna catch on to Chasey. He's caught out by Akabane. Sends him packing. Sends him back as Chasey is looking for the monkey. That's gonna be it from Attila. The sniper's there. They're going for the teleport out. Melanix out. X7 somehow do it again. They find themselves a team fight.
We have been pointing out fingers on Tempt the entire series. He hasn't been performing. He's been overextending. He's been getting caught, but right here he saves his team from certain death. Puts his body forward and shuts down anyone from GameWard. But let's see them again because Viking has been the target for GameWard. You take off the smite, you can go straight into this Baron. Really nice plan from Melanic to stop any disengage and escape from Kasing, and they've suddenly made this a 3 versus 5, but there's no ultimates from the side of GameWard, and even though Camillus is a pretty good flank on the side right there, you see that Temp does not care about this Amumu. He'll dive in, he has the ultimate from the survivability from the Swain as well, and actually these HP bars started melting once Attila started hitting them, and Chasey on this Jace also coming alive, but again
Temp's hero sacrifice.
So freaking well played to keep 3 members at bay whilst Chasey and Attila were doing the damage from the backline completely untouched this entire time. And mind you, there were a lot of shutdowns that were given away to the 2 main carries from the sort of X7. Chasey, Attila. Suddenly Attila, 4 items, 3.5 on this Jace. Now the poke is going to start hurting.
Yes, now it's definitely going to start to stick. Like you said, 4 items on Attila as well. He's got that Ravenous Hydra, so he has that AoE kind of splash on the Qs as well. He's got the slows from the Shereldas. It is getting scary. Dragon spawning up soon, so both these teams are gearing up for the fight.
And if you look on the minimap as well, X7 actually have the wave. Bot lane wave is pushing. They shoved in that mid lane wave as well, which means that the first ones to get in the Riven and take complete control. Look at Camillus towards the bot side of your screens though, because he's lurking and he's looking. If he gets a huge ult, everyone from GameWard is going to pile up on him.
He's not revealed himself yet. Temp's actually going to check
he's going to find him.
He might steal the ultimate. This is a really good ult for him to get. Gets Camillus flash. That is huge. Being down.
Wait, what?
Whoa, Chasey! Finally getting some revenge. Melanic just loses his entire health bar.
They know where Akabane
but they're not doing it. Teleport's coming in from behind as well. Chasey going in for the zone. They're going to lock them down. They're able to find it. This might just be the target. Attila is down. Huge. They get the charm onto everyone as well. And Axe saves the day for the side of GW. The dragon is denied.
And GameWard, again, Akabane on a ward. He was on vision behind the pit, and Attila was standing right in front of him over that wall. Guess what Wukong does? He loves jumping through walls and absolutely demolished Attila. The second Attila is down, the fight is over. Your carry is dead. And Tempt, in another attempt right here to try and shut down GameWard.
He's doing a lot. Checkerlad! Where does health bar go?
Oh,
it's gone.
Some, a little bit of a tax, I guess, for whatever's been going on.
There's just a bit of, it feels like these kills have got some real spite in them from X7. They're like, oh, I'm gonna get you. Look at the damage to Melanic.
Again,
Bam.
Please do pay attention on that ward behind your screen because it spots Akabane from the get-go and Camillus actually. And here goes Attila trying to poke them. He literally stands in front of an Amumu and a Wukong gets completely destroyed instantly. That means X7 can only disengage, and then GameWard, once they're upon them, they're just gonna run them down. Luckily for X7, 3 members got away. But again, your win con gets extended another 5 minutes. GameWard have stopped this Dragon back to back. But also very importantly, because this Dragon happened, because 2 kills went down for the side of GameWard, they've also stopped the siege with the Baron that X7 took.
Yeah, and actually, GameWard are now 8 minutes off a sole win condition for themselves, but Viking, he is going low. They get a whole lot of damage off into Melanick. He stopwatches to make sure he's not going to get caught out. Wow, Attila's damage is just phenomenal now. The True Shot Barrage goes a little bit wide, and Akabane has to be careful because Chasey hunting for him. And at this point, you have a lot of damage coming out from Attila and Chasey. That poke is very much online right now. But the weakness is if they can't get that poke, then they will just lose the fight. As Tempt actually
and
does
look at
get
X7.
caught by Melanick a little bit.
They see Tekla on the tops of the map. Then Noki has nothing.
Oh, look at the CC! Everyone's caught out. Attila is not going to be able to save anybody here as he is jumping away. Camillus is hunting him down. Attila does have a flash. He has to get over the wall, but he can't do so. Jumps away for now. Still got that flash. Flashes away, but Inax will finish him up. Both of the damage dealers are down. It is Tempt and Viking to hold versus GW.
And remember who it was that has saved X7 from sticky situations back to back? It's Tempt. Who was keeping Tempt busy in the bot lane? It was Melanick. Yes, Tempt casting on a huge shutdown on Melanick, getting that first death on the board for him, but his team got completely wiped because he wasn't there. They need that Silas to be there from the side of X7 to hold that frontal. Of GameWard are going to run them down. That's exactly what they did in this team fight. They're going to take that fight. They're going to take the 3 kills. They're going to take that middle inhibitor as well. And Tempt might be looking to chase down as well. 3 seconds, Chasey has TP.
He's chasing, but he's not going to connect or commit. Just forces GW away. Baron's going to be up in just under a minute. We've got 2 minutes until that Infernal comes up. Again, X7 have been on soul point for the last 2 Dragons. They are going to get pressure here on this top side of the map, and it looks like the attention will go towards this objective. True Shot Barrage was thrown down by Attila, so he's going to be able to push through this mid-wave.
Yeah, and as we'll see here again, Camillus again on this Amumu has been so good. Oh my god, Inax! That was 2 CCs thrown from 2 sides, and you couldn't sidestep neither of them because they were so perfectly aligned that they would cross in the center. GameWard are showing off in this particular series. Now, I was wondering if we can really quickly look at the Aatrox. I'm not sure when he purchased that. Oh, he does have the Guardian Angel, so he purchased it right after he died. Thank you so much, observers. Tempt managed to 1v1 the Aatrox, so that's a good showing from the side of X7, but Melanick now has that GA, so you have to, unfortunately, if you're X7, kill him twice. And there's a GA on the Monkey, there's a GA onto the Aatrox, there's Hourglass onto Chocolate, there's a Stopwatch onto Inax, which means these fights will drag way too long. And can X7 get a kill over there? You need to have Jace around, you need to have Attila on the edge around to start poking down the targets before you move in for a team fight. For GameWard, they're looking for another overstep, they're looking for another mistake. And Camillus has been so spot on with finding the cues, finding the engages.
He'll catch onto Viking. I don't think they're thinking about it yet, but everybody's jumping in. Chocolat's been caught. They do jump in. Attila's able to get away from Akabane, and so's Chasey. That's 1 kill picked up on the side of X7. They're onto the mummy. They do lock them down, though, with a curse of the stand mummy. What a true shot! Kasing catches everyone, and X7 finally gets some revenge on DW. Melanick goes down, and Baron is on the cards. Soul is on the cards, and X7 finally get a firm grip on this game.
What a great fight from X7, and Kasing finding the opening with his sick engage. We're talking about a misstep from the side of X7, how quick GameWard is at capitalizing, but Melanick, he takes 1 extra step and instantly gets punished right there, has to dash out. The Chocolate gets actually pillared from Viking, and that ultimate from Inax misses for the first time in the entire game, which means that X7 get the team fight that could save the... Oh my god! That was nasty from Kasing. And not only do they get this fight, they'll get to open mid lane tower, they'll get to take the soul, and from what I saw, they actually pulled away from the Baron. I think this is the wise thing to do. You have that Infernal Soul on you right now. Your poke is going to hurt like hell. Go back, cash in on the items that you just got from all these shutdowns, from all these kills, and get into this fight with 5 items on every single one of your carries. Kasing!
Oh, Kasing, he's able to just about avoid Checolat, but he's been caught. The encore connects Chasey on that flank. Kasing's able to jump away.
No.
Oh, he's not getting away.
Okay, that passive from Inax's Seraphine literally saved the day right there from GameWard because he had it stacked up, so that auto attack really hurt together with the burn coming in from Checolat. But Kasing was the one that got that insane triple knockup, and right here GameWard with the numbers advantage. I think X7 and the sports
they caught Chasey. Chasey's on his own. He's slowed down as well. Instantly goes in for the flash. Attila's on that flank. Viking is down. Camilius has lost a lot of HP, and Attila now has that True Shot barrage. Tempt can poke. True Shot comes down. Chips through a whole bunch of them. They're all going very, very low now as Tempt looking to jump in. Caught out for the moment. Keeping his tempo up for the moment. He's got himself on the Checolat. Able to take him down. Camilius is low HP. The Encore will just about avoid on the 2-1 as he's able to get himself a kill, but is returned out by Melanik. X7 just about denying that Baron over to the side of GW.
There's one thing that's very annoying when you're playing against the poor composition, and that's doing Baron. Bunching up your members in a very tight spot where all of these skill shots are going to hit from Attila and Chasey is so dangerous, and we saw it right there. Tempt again puts his body forward for his team, for Attila and Chasey to put down the hurt, to put down the poke. And let's watch this one more time because Kasing steps somewhere where he shouldn't be, and his lens run out right before he was about to walk into that bush and check out Checolat. But again, really well played right there from GameWard. They know that X7 overextends for vision the entire series, and they've capitalized on that. And right here, you still have 4 members. Push down mid, try to create a win condition for yourself. Do not put yourself in the quadrant where you don't have any vision. That's exactly what X7 did, and GameWard really quick on the trigger right there to try and punish them. Viking dies again. He's become the humanoid of the EU Masters, I believe.
Do you know the really sad thing is Chasey burnt Flash as well. So, like, he survived that just about and was able to kind of put some damage in for the team, but at the end of the day, his big problem was he now doesn't have Flash for another 5 minutes. So it's going to be hard for them to do this again. Tempt is phenomenal. He's doing such a good job of keeping these fights going for X7, but how many more mistakes can X7 make? Because it feels like, you know, a lot of these fights, that is a lot of damage. A lot of these fights are X7 making a mistake and then GW overextending and getting a little greedy post-mistake.
Now, here's the thing. Look on the map. Chasey is all the way down that bot lane. He's going to actually TP. He needs to be there. If they want to start Baron, Chase needs to be there. He needs to be putting down the herd, and right now he's going to TP into the mid lane tower. 5 items. GA. There's no GA on the side of GameWard. There's only 2 stopwatches, 2 hourglasses, sorry, on Checolat and Inax.
Oh no. Tempt is on his own. He has no vision. He has no team. He's going to get himself caught out. Trying to avoid as much as possible. Tempt is just able to get away. He's so scary, to be fair. He's terrifying. He's got stopwatch. He has Banshees. He has his ultimate available.
5 items, and he's level 18.
He's stacked. How do you actually go versus him right now without, you know, him really making a mistake?
So right here, X7 and GameWard are playing with that mid lane wave. Very important. If you want to go towards that Baron, you need to be controlling that mid lane wave, but you also need to be controlling the vision behind enemy lines. And with this one ward, you do not get enough vision because right here, X7 have a ward on the top side, but it has been disabled by the control ward that GameWard have put down. So X7 have no idea what's happening in this quadrant. And right here, GameWard, I think they're playing it really well and really safe. They're not going to force the issue. They're not going to walk into somewhere where they have no vision at all. Very well played GameWard. They're just going to shove in that wave and say, you know what? We'll display them in next team fight. This next team fight is a minute and 14 seconds later from where we are right now, because the Elder Dragon is going to spawn, and this is going to be a huge point of contention. And if anything, X7 have been known to notoriously be getting caught right before big objectives spawn. So X7 need to make sure that they do not face check all alone anywhere where GameWard could be creating a flank or a trap for.
But now they are just trying to get some control of this quadrant. They have that sweeper. Chasey pops it in the wrong way. So won't spot out Akabane Inax as Tempt does spot out Melanik. Camilius is there, catches on with the chain lash. Holy moly, Melanik's health bar! Where did it go? But it's on the flank! Encore goes wide! Chasey is going over to Tiller! It's going down! He jumps into Melanik! Melanik finishes him off! Shutdown's already been picked up! Melanik finds himself a a double kill. X7 are running out of options right now as Tempt jumps into the middle of everyone. Pops the stopwatch. Vikings low. The resurrection's coming in. Oh! Tempt somehow saves it all. Chasey finishes up the monkey, and X7 might just have done it, but Melonix not done yet. This is such a back and forth fight as Viking has to get away from Melonix. Should be able to do so. Oh my god, my heart can't take this trouble.
Oh my word, GameWard had the best flank possible for this particular fight. And Inax very uncharacteristically misses the ult on all 4 members when he was in Fog of War. But you can see how close these fights are right now. Chasey, he went from being the bleeding wound of X7, the cause for a loss, if you will, on this game, to dealing so much damage and being the main carry together with Tempt when Attila goes down. Talking about carries though, 3 members dead from the side of GameWard, mainly Akabane with this smite. Viking 9 seconds for the smite, you can't burn it down too fast. You need the smite up, 4 seconds for the smite, 3 seconds for the smite.
In the jump, they get the chains onto everyone. Attila's gonna go down. No, he's able to cleanse, he's able to get away, but Viking needs to stay in the pit. He can't do so, he's jumping in. Oh no, the dragon's secured, and this is it. X7 lose 3. GW strike back again.
Melonic does it all for GameWard. You want him to play an on, he'll give you the engages. You want him to play Na, he'll give you the engages. You want him to play Akali, he'll find the backline. You give him the Aatrox, he'll carry your game to victory. He beats down Viking, he takes that Elder, and now GameWard get to march into X7's base and make this a 3-0.
I don't know how X7 can hold on. They got 20 seconds until Kasing's up and Viking, but Attila's not there for another 30. Elder in the pocket of X7, and Tempt is just about avoiding everything he can, taking that little bit of poke. Maybe they can clear out the wave. They look for the encore, they miss it out. Tempt still holding fast for the moment. They're about to come back up. Tempt's popped the ultimate. He has a stopwatch to keep himself up, trying to clear through this wave as quick as possible. Tempt's down. The gift of the Elder's able to do it as the tower will crumble. X7's dreams have been scattered here by the LFL. Once again, a 3-0 to GameWard.
And X7